Welcome to the show. Dr. Mark Vaughn on the live stream with talking about diminishing disease here. And you'll notice I'm kind of trying to fill up both sides here with Dr. Gwain's chair. I'll just kind of, oh, look at that.
I'll do it.
We have someone to sit in his chair. Let's see here. We got Mr. Ed, who many of you know, of course, because he's a part of the show. And come on a little closer. Don't be so shy. There we go. Because we're going to be talking about how the numbers for COVID are so much lower.
Much lower. We can get real close then, can't we?
Well, kind of, yeah. It's looking good for about 70% of the country, maybe a little more now, since that announcement came out just late last week.
He's much taller than I am, isn't he?
I can slump. They can be like equal to Francis here between us. Francis wearing a mask still.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see what we have. Teresia Rowatt. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Teresa.
And Stephen T.
Oh, I don't recognize Stephen's
Hi,
name. Stephen, thank you
from
for
Florida. My goodness.
somebody in Florida. Great. Thank you for being, and you can even see we put your comment right there because you're watching the show.
Bianca says hi.
Bianca, one of our regulars. Hi, Bianca. We are continually innovating here at the Auburn Medical Group YouTube channel, and we're actually trying to simulcast this live stream on Facebook, so you may see some Facebook comments show up here also. It'll be quite something if we can do that live. This is a live program for anybody who watches it after it's live, and I guess you missed out if you weren't watching it when it was happening right now, 4:30 on February 28th.
What is Lindsay saying?
Lindsay, I am a huge Mr. Ed fan.
Hi, Lindsay. How you doing? and then Laura Barzyk says hi, everyone.
Yep.
So we're just got a bunch of people.
So this is a live program with a live audience that can chat in, and that's what you're seeing here with the chat messages. If you want to be sure to be a part of that, then you'll want to hit the little bell icon so you don't miss announcements for when we have new shows come out. Now, we certainly welcome the comments, and we will be responding to those throughout the show. The show is on the diminishing burden of disease from Omicron or COVID right now, and we'll be talking about that. Dr. Gwain may bump you, actually. It could happen.
I'll
and if
see
it does,
about that.
I'll turn your mic back on if that.
Once I'm in front of a camera.
There's
never
no
know.
getting... Especially if you're playing your bass fiddle, then there's just no moving you at all. So we will start with what I know about what's been going on, the reading I've been doing on COVID and Omicron and the CDC change. We do have a link in the description, so if you want to see kind of what the country map looks like, or if you go to Dr. Gwain's blog for today, which I don't think I put a link into the description of today's video, but it's just drgreenknight.com. And then you can find, this is not Dr. Gwain here. She's just showing you Dr. Green Knight. Thank you for doing that. The numbers have been going down. We've been saying this all along, that with Omicron, cases have been decreasing over the last 4 weeks or so, about that much time, from a peak. And also following that, the number of hospitalizations has gone. So let's show them the graph. So this is two graphs. The top graph is new cases as they come in. And this is just showing the Delta surge there across the top, followed by Omicron. And you see that the Omicron bump in the graph is finally coming back down. It is not down to the level that we were before Delta yet, but it's certainly on the way to that. Then the lower graph is hospitalizations, and you see that hospitalizations all the way on that right, the upper line, not the filled in blue part, but the upper line is the total number of cases in the hospital in Placer County. And that's up until, probably late last week, I think was the last date there on the very right side of the graph. And you see the numbers are coming down dramatically fast, but still are at a level that is higher than what it was before Omicron hit. And in fact, about half, maybe not quite anymore, of what the, I'm sorry, no, it's not half. It's well below the peak of the Delta strain also. So the numbers are going down, and then I didn't put it up, but we also have one very similar to this for ICU numbers, and it also is coming down, but it's still, there's still people in the ICU from it. And then deaths, I didn't put that up either. Deaths actually, until just right now, have been just going up a little bit because it follows so much behind hospitalizations, which follows behind new infections.
Is this representative, of nationwide as well? I mean, is that the world? Or?
Well, it's very similar to that worldwide. It's very, very similar to that nationwide and statewide, but these numbers were just for Placer County.
Okay.
Focusing on the county that we're in, but it may be similar. And if you want to know what it is for you, you follow those links so that you can actually put
got
in.
me in trouble here.
I got you in trouble. Oh, Lindsay,
Oh,
right?
there's the boss.
Oh, okay. See, I told you.
I'm getting out of here now.
Say goodbye to Lindsay.
Hey, okay. Say hi to Laura. She said hi, everyone.
Oh, thank you.
And then it says, I will give a $100 super.
No. Why would she do that? Super chat. If Mr. Ed will bring his fiddle.
You got me
Did
in
I hear
trouble.
that correctly? We were referring to a who was it?
Henry
Winkler part that he got a kick out of. With
I
the
was
bass
just going to
fiddle.
stay here.
What?
Come on.
We never adjusted the camera for Mr. Ed. We kept it for you.
Okay, I'm here.
Thinking that you would make your way. Please welcome to the show,
Yeah.
Dr. Gwen Vaughn.
I was being a real doctor. There are times where I just fake it. No, just kidding.
All right.
Like on the show.
You mean Dr. Greenlight doesn't really exist?
What you say? Hearing a lot?
No. You said you're playing real doctor?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's Dr. Greenlight?
Oh,
Green Knight.
Green
Oh,
Knight.
Green Knight.
Green
okay,
Knight.
okay.
No, Green
Alter
Light.
ego.
Dr. Green Lantern.
That's like when you used to play red light, green light.
Mm-hmm.
They'd say green light house. And they'd say green light, so you'd start going.
Right,
And
yeah.
then they'd say house. And you're like, come on, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
would appeal it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. You were on skates. How were you supposed to appeal?
You did that in
I'm
skate-
protesting. Just start going on the rink.
I did that on skates too, yeah, at Roller King in Roseville. Yeah,
Oh.
I can remember doing that.
Did you ever go to the one in Auburn?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Back when they had that one?
That's where I played video games.
That's right. That was the
Because my
place to
parents
play
wouldn't let me
video
go to places that had video games.
games. So
Yeah.
you'd go to the roller rink.
So the roller skating rink,
That
you
was-
play
that
video
was the
games.
place.
Yeah, true. See, letting all the secrets out now.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That was 20 years ago. 30 years ago.
Do you remember when that was open?
Oh,
I'm trying
yeah.
to think when that closed. 'cause
Auburn
that's,
Skate
Yeah, over where the annex
Auburn
is now
Skateland.
for the.
for the county.
Where is that? Yeah,
County
County?
Education.
Yeah, it's education. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So thank you for reminiscing with us
for
about
your
Auburn
insight in
30
our
years ago.
county. Speaking of county stuff, have we
Yeah,
started talking
so-
about county stuff?
I gave them the links. I told them that the link is on drgreenknight.com.
Excellent.
If they click on this week's blog
Yeah, you
post.
should check that
and
out.
I showed them the graphs that showed that the numbers are coming down in Placer County for total new cases and for hospitalizations.
Yeah.
And I didn't really mention at all what you had in your blog post about the CDC talking about masking by county.
Right.
Like 70% of the country is now,
Should be able to take off their
for
masks
the most part, not
safely.
being required to wear a mask in public.
Yeah.
Even indoor.
Right.
Because such low numbers, because Omicron just came down.
Yeah. Not down. It was down.
Still coming though, because
Like it came down quick.
there's still people with it.
That's right.
We're still seeing positives even.
When was our last positive test in our office? I don't think I've had any
in the
on my
office or of a
schedule.
person who works in the office this
Oh.
weekend.
Right.
Yeah, so it's still here.
Happens.
And of course now as Omicron BA, I guess you'd call it BA1, the Omicron strain, the one that was the really big one here for the last month, as it's going away, we're now seeing Omicron BA2, which is about 30% more
Even
contagious,
more.
if you can imagine that. I was surprised at how contagious Omicron was.
Yeah. However, the data does show that if you've had Omicron, you have a pretty good immunity towards this new variant, this newer Omicron. So
Yeah.
most of our population has had either Omicron or has been vaccinated or
Yeah.
come in contact with somebody.
I was going to say, came in contact with
Yeah.
Omicron and didn't get it.
Right.
Yeah. So we're hoping that the BA2 variant really is a nothing burger, as my brother would say.
A nothing burger.
Yeah.
Yes, with
But
cheese.
yet to be seen. We don't know. We'll find out. So schools, many schools now.
Right.
Taking,
Oh, I finally got an update. So I didn't have it
Yeah, you
over
mentioned
the
it
weekend
about your school.
But there was on the news, a local news, KCRA. They said March 11th, I believe, is the date that California is saying back to normal.
March 11th. So that's just
Now,
less
some,
than 2 weeks.
some schools have already said, we're doing it anyway. Some in the Placer County, I think the Rockland School District is already saying,
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
masks needed. They're
I don't
jumping the
see-
gun there. But, yeah,
I really see very
which
little
really is
problem
fine
with that.
since we're in
Yeah.
that yellow tier of the new levels.
So this adjustment to endemic Omicron. So there's still people who are at risk who we
Right.
recommend that they wear the mask, and
Right.
and they're probably better off if the people around them are wearing masks. But it's not that much different than before COVID came as far as the risk to them of some kind of respiratory illness.
Sure.
And so I guess it's a time to reassess. Okay, before in the U.S., we really didn't wear masks during flu season for the most part.
Right.
It would be the exceptional individual who would. Maybe it would be somebody who is especially sensitive of people around them who are immune compromised, or
Right.
like they had a family
Going through
member, a household
chemo or
member,
something, yes.
going through chemo or has some kind of immune compromised state.
Yep.
And that will have that amount of it. But maybe the rest of us will be a little more aware of that, oh, yeah, so-and-so's spouse is, and so maybe in certain situations wearing masks. I don't see it being an everyday thing in the office place for people who otherwise aren't doing it.
Right.
Just realistically, I don't see it happening. But maybe there'll be a little bit more mask wearing out of consideration for those people in certain situations.
Yeah,
You know,
I
if you're
hope
going
so.
to somebody's house or
It sounds like the
know that they're coming into your business.
right thing to do for
Yeah.
others' safety.
Yeah,
So,
but it would be individual specific rather than across the board.
Yeah.
Everyone in this office all the time, and even in our office, like you even mentioned that if you're in an exam room with a patient, you're not requiring mask wearing in the exam room.
if somebody's low risk, I took
Yeah.
off my mask today with a patient because they were okay with it.
Yeah.
Scandalous. Maybe my boss should know about that.
Maybe. Yeah, but in the common areas of the office where there could be other patients,
Yeah.
we're wearing masks.
Keep wearing masks.
We don't in the studio here because no patients ever come in here.
And we're probably fine in like our office when it's just us around. Or
Yeah, because that's a non-patient area
yeah,
also.
but any of the common patient areas, we'll still be wearing masks because we have
Waiting
high-risk
rooms,
people coming and
halls.
going.
the front desk, everybody's wearing a mask there
Yep.
during business hours anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds seems
For a little
appropriate to me.
bit. For a little bit longer, but yeah, in the exam rooms, patients are comfortable having the mask off, prefer to have the mask off. Hey, our county's in the
That's right.
moderate, almost to low zone, so that's
Yeah.
good.
But everybody in the hospital masked up.
Hospitals a little different.
Yep.
Yep.
Hospitals are a
Not
little
as
more
relaxed
acute
as-
area,
yeah.
where they have disease going on.
Stuff
even
going on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
patients
or-
are inpatient, so they can't leave at the end of the day, so they're
right.
there all the time.
Yeah. Well, even the in and out procedures, because it's just they should still wear masks going in and out because they're in that.
And they did before
acute
for a lot of
facility.
it.
Yeah.
For some patients.
Yep.
I'm curious to know, Holly, do we have any Facebook sourced comments? Okay, that's all right. It's a bit of an experiment. We don't even know if anybody's watching us on there, but we would like to know if we have comments on.
Well, Bianca was looking for
Bianca.
some stats nationwide, but all she hears on TV is Russia invading Ukraine takes up the whole thing.
That
the whole
has kind
schedule.
of taken over
Oh.
the airwaves.
Wow, we're unique in what we're covering. Finally, us covering
We
COVID.
don't really have a medical take on, other countries invading.
I have not heard any. I've heard some speculation that there may be some spread or decreased care for people with COVID in
There was some
Ukraine while this is going on,
displacement of
but-
the hospitals from some of the stuff I saw.
Yeah, as far as COVID, though, again, it's Omicron for them also, so it's and I believe they're coming off of their peak also, just like we are.
Probably.
So-
I have not looked at that. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe their timing was behind Great Britain, and ours was a little bit behind also. So it would probably be similar to what's going on in the United States. Yeah.
Nothing new. Nothing yet.
As he awaits the next message that comes
We're
through.
waiting for your
What-
comments.
What is
Come on,
that?
something
What
good.
does it say right there now? Look at that.
why-
The bottom one, it's like a
Okay,
foreign
why
language.
Oh, I don't know.
Sometimes we can figure those out. Yeah. Remember, Mr. Ed's reading the comments. So if you use too many hip abrasions, Hip abrasions.
Hip abrasion.
Hip abbreviations.
I think I did that when I crashed my bike once.
Okay, there's a difference between hip abrasions
Oh, that was a shoulder
and
abrasion.
hipster abbreviations.
Hipster abrasion.
They're two different things. One is medical. I'm sorry.
That is hilarious. Hip abrasion.
Hip abrasions. No, hipster abbreviations.
Hipster abbreviations.
Hip abrasions is an
Is it
abbreviation for hipster
hipster
abbreviations.
abbreviation. Take
Hip,
out some
hip
of those
abrasions.
syllables there. You'll be fine.
Can you
Well, this
adjust-
guy is foreign, Batol Vaisa,
Yeah?
and I don't want to make too much fun of him, but I mean, I think I'm trying
That doesn't look like English.
doesn't.
E-O-R, right?
Yeah, if there's
I don't know.
too many syllables together, they're either Welsh or...
Welcome to the program.
Well, welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate the comment,
Maybe
I guess.
maybe they are trying to do English when they had a stroke.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
gosh.
Yeah, the window is closing.
Yeah, need to get that evaluated.
Time is ticking.
Yeah, if you just can't get the right words to come out on your keyboard,
It's a
might
purely
need to get evaluated. in the rest
expressive
of the department.
aphasia where you can't type.
What would be the name of that?
Apraxia?
An apraxia? Is that what it would be? Because it's so language related. I would think.
Yeah, I would think so too.
I think you would call it.
But it's using your.
Well, it's not an aphasia.
Cause, yeah.
Expressive aphasia. That's when you can't say the words.
Expressive. An expressive apraxia. Making up diagnoses.
Graphia. A graphia
A
is when
graph
you
is
can't.
inability to write.
Right. So it's closer to
So
that.
it's similar to that.
A
Well, Lindsay's trying
This
to
is
join
fun.
your conversation. She wants to know, do I need to say something that will require you to post an edited version later on?
Oh no.
Oh, no, okay. The edited version was not because of inappropriate content. That was just because we were trying to get it more focused on the subject of the show. For people who didn't catch the live version of it, if we repost an edited version later, it comes up differently on people's YouTube feeds, so that people who missed the live one would be able to know that it happened. So it gets some more views of the show, and it makes it available to a broader audience. And we might do that with this show too. It's just that one, Mr. Ed commented on how much he thought that was a good, fun episode. So that's why we re-edited it for redistribution. I think all I took out was just like the first introductory material and then left the rest.
Yeah. You can do that for this one. Edit to win.
Oh,
I
so
Because yeah.
because it's no good until you're on, huh?
Yeah. Come on. We all know what this show is about.
The Dr. Gwaine only portion is what that would be edited to. Okay, yeah, I can see that happening. But thank you, Lindsay, for keeping it lively. We appreciate that.
She said, now I feel a little less guilty.
A little less. Okay, yeah, there. Look, she gets her picture when she does it. Now, if you would like to have your picture show up when you make your comments, you're gonna have to ask Lindsay how she made that happen. I think there's a
Probably
way when you
her
get your
YouTube
profile, you put a picture up to it, and then you get your picture when you comment on a show like this. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we get our pictures on it, moving pictures.
Yeah. It took me 2 seconds there.
That's what the
Had
show.
to figure that one out.
Man, that must have been a hard case. Anything you can share with us?
No.
Because because of HIPAA, does everybody know what HIPAA is? So it's the law that requires us not to reveal patient information about their healthcare or personal information. So when we're talking about a patient case, which of course in a way is someone's information, although you try to separate the identifying information from it, because of the law, the only information we can share are the absolute most disgusting and gross cases, because that way, that's the only way that no patient would admit that that was them as the plaintiff in a lawsuit. So by law, we have to be crude and disgusting.
Because no one's going to say,
The law makes
that
the show.
abscess was mine.
That abscess in a very sensitive area
In that location.
with some kind of extraordinary, embarrassing story about how, yeah, yep. That's
It's the only one we can talk about.
yeah. So in case you can't
Yeah.
tell, that's a portion of my
It's either
my
that
stand-up
or really
set.
boring stuff. Because really boring stuff is no one's going to,
Well,
take
yeah,
you to court
because
for that.
well, because it could be
Like, oh,
anybody.
Yeah, so and so, they had a cold. and I didn't prescribe antibiotics.
I once had a patient with a cold and I didn't give antibiotics. Yeah, that's
Oh, that was me.
yeah. That's
Take me to court for that one.
as if that was one person any given day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Some winter days that is half my schedule.
Had pain in a major joint and telephoned in asking us to order an MRI.
That happens multiple times.
Because
not daily, but yeah, multiple
Every
times.
pain in a major
month.
joint needs an MRI automatically.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monica Highland says, I love watching your videos.
Oh, thanks, Monica.
Hey.
And
She has a picture too.
Lindsay again. I just changed my Google account icon.
Well, that's Google account
No
icon. Okay.
idea how I
YouTube
did it.
Is
It's
owned
been
by
a while, though.
Google,
Alphabet. Yeah.
which is owned by. Wait. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know how the evolutionary tree works
Alphabet's
out there.
the name of the company on the stock exchange. So.
Yeah.
And then she says, LOL, is that lots of luck or lots of laugh? Or
Lots of love.
Yeah. lots of love.
Isn't that it?
Why the face?
Why the
WTF.
WTF? Why the face?
Right? Right?
WTF?
Am I missing
Why the
something?
face?
oh, no, that's right. That
That's what we'll go with. Yeah.
That's actually stolen from an early episode of The Modern Family.
Oh,
Your Modern Family.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't remember it specifically, but probably. Okay, so unless there's other specific questions about that, we're going to wrap up. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Lindsay and Twine, for your comments, and everybody else, and Mr. Ed and
Bye-bye.
Holly. And if anybody sees on Facebook, please comment there so we know somebody saw it there.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're not going to bother with all that it took to make it happen. Dr. Wayne, anybody that you wanted to thank for?
Yeah, I guess you did mention the blog. It is about the thing we talked about, all of the new county levels. So go check it out. And actually, there's a nice little, what would you call that, link in there?
Yeah, refreshable.
Yeah, you can check embedded link. Yeah, look at that. You can do it
Not so
right
much
from my website. Anyways, drgreenknight.com. Over there, I do have a Patreon.
drgreenknight.com right there.
There it is. You can catch me on the socials. Dr. Green Knight, at Dr. Green Knight on the Twitter.
Yep.
Teresia Rowatt is a Patreon supporter. Appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Yes. I also thank you to Lindsay Antoine and everybody else on Patreon who gets their names at the end of the show, somewhere about in this area on the screen.
Over me.
Yeah, over him. Just keep gazing into his eyes, yeah, and you'll see the names.
And Teresa says, thank you for the mention.
Yeah. Till next time, all of us telling all of you to stay in good health.
Doctors, thank you for another informative session. Auburn Medical Group is located in Auburn, California, USA. Thank you for participating. Please tell a friend and join us again next week.